I'm so excited today, man. I'm sitting across from like a young black CEO in Dallas. He's doing his thing. This guy, he invented this brand called MIZIZI. We're going to talk about it. Paakow Essandoh, how are you?
I'm good, Joe. Thank you for inviting me, Joe.
Oh my gosh, thank you for coming. We've had this conversation. I've been following MIZIZI for some years now. I mean, it's something so unique, something so different. Just talk about what did you do? How did you come up with this concept, with this idea? Tell me.
Okay, so MIZIZI means roots in Swahili, and we are the official streetwear brand for the African diaspora, meaning we make jerseys representing all countries, whether it be African countries, Caribbean, Latin American. Last year we partnered with Marvel to release the officially licensed Wakanda jersey.
Yeah.
This year we partnered with Disney to release the officially licensed Lion King jersey.
We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that a little bit more.
And we're literally just trying to remind our people all around the world to be proud of who you are.
I love that. I just love. I mean, how old were you when you started this?
I was 20. I was a freshman the idea was conceived whenever I was a freshman at USF, but I officially launched my junior year, going into 2017. Like August 30th, 2015 was when we launched. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's crazy. 2015?
2015.
So 5 years?
It's been 4 years and some change.
Oh my goodness. And it's everywhere, man. And then the fact that you say you partnered with Disney, which we're going to talk about later. You're 25 now? You're 26?
Yep. I just turned 25 on January 19th.
Oh man, what is it like just being like a young entrepreneur in today's world, man? What is that like?
It has its pros and its cons. I like to say that success can definitely be a double-edged sword, because on one end, like, yeah, you're learning about yourself, you're learning like a new type of confidence, you're like embracing a whole new identity that you hadn't like known about yourself before.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like you have to navigate all these different nuances of becoming more popular, being in the public eye, seeing how like people may treat you differently because of such, and like kind of juggling that space between knowing that you're here to do important work versus you're just an average human being. You're not more special than anybody else, and like figuring out where that like gray lining is at.
Man, that's wise, because it's tough. I mean, and today it's just really, really tough. I think just to get I feel like that's the route that everyone's taking, is trying to be an entrepreneur, trying to come up with their own business, and the fact that you were able to do that at 20 is incredible, man. I just want to give you so much props for that. That's awesome.
Yo, JJ, you're too kind.
Oh no, it's seriously, man. It's awesome. But I mean, one of the things that you also have on your side for your MIZIZI brand is social media, man. Social media can play a part of anyone's business now. So how has social media impacted MIZIZI, your brand, and everything that you've been doing?
Social media has been one of our biggest drivers of traffic. Whenever I first launched MIZIZI, I had literally just went through my phone book, divided up everybody's name by their nationality, and then like how I initially launched was we had posted up pictures of saying like, it was an Africa jersey, tag somebody who's African. It was a Nigeria jersey, tag somebody who's Nigerian. So once I divided up my phone book by those nationalities, I texted everybody letting them know like, hey, this is what MIZIZI is, this is what we're about. We're about to launch on August 30th. When we do you mind if you tag like a cousin or a friend that's of that nationality, that's somebody that you know, or if you share it with them, and that's all I ask. And like this was before Instagram and like Twitter and social media really was utilized for business like that.
Oh, okay.
Or at least from my aspect. And so whenever I did that and we officially launched, it kind of went, it pretty much went viral.
Right,
News spread across the states pretty fast, and everybody was talking about it. Whenever we launched, the Ghana jersey sold out in 13 minutes, Nigeria within an hour, Ethiopia within 3 hours, and then we had Kenya, Eritrea, the Black Africa jersey, and Egypt. They all sold out within the week.
So when you kicked off and launched, how many jerseys did you have originally? What did you guys start with?
Total of 210.
And that's all around the ball, hockey, baseball?
No. So like I started off with 7 designs. Black Africa, just so it would be inclusive. That has all the Africa flags on it, as well as Caribbean flags, just so it was more inclusive for everybody to wear.
Yeah.
We have Ghana, Nigeria, Ethiopia, Eritrea, Egypt, and Kenya as well. Because before we launched, I wanted to do my research and figure out which countries had the biggest enclaves in the States, which countries had the biggest populations, and where were they at, and who were they watching. And that's whenever I deduced that it was those countries, and then from there, that's whenever like I segregated my phone and launched the whole campaign.
You went down and went to work, huh?
I had to.
Man, you got some good friends though too, to be able to do that. They showed you mad love for that. And some friends will be like, really? Do I have to? All right, whatever.
The thing is, like, what a lot of people don't know too is that I spent a lot of time trying to develop the idea.
Yeah.
Whenever I first conceived it back in 2013, it was supposed to be everything from head to toe. It was supposed to be like hats, shirts, pants, but would have like Kenyan fabric stitched into it. I tried to find a manufacturer that would do everything from start to finish, from like product ideation all the way to distribution logistics. And the first manufacturer told me that they would charge me $500 for a jersey, and that they would have to hire extra staff to do everything that I wanted to do. So that was pretty discouraging.
Yeah.
I spent the rest of that week like shopping up and down the fabric district in New York to see if I could find a manufacturer, see if I could just do it myself. That was to no avail. And then from there, I was like, okay, maybe I am trying to do too much. If there's one thing that I know that will probably have like the highest probability of selling, what would it be? And at that time, that was whenever baseball jerseys were the current trend. Every retailer had them, from like Rue 21 all the way to like Champs, and you know?
Yeah, that was a thing.
So I was like, okay, I've never seen African baseball jerseys before. Let's see if I focus on this where I can take it. And then from there, that's whenever I like picked the countries. It's been like, it was a rough 2 years just because I took time off of school because I didn't even know if I wanted to do pharmacy anymore.
Yeah.
Went back, still hated it. Was homeless for a bit, was couch surfing, was depressed, grades were slipping. Ended up moving to Orlando for a little bit with the friend that I grew up with, just to keep my mind right, or just to, honestly, when you're in a safe space, or a space that you can like have somebody you can trust, it does so much for your psyche, as opposed to like being in a completely new environment where you don't know anybody, you know, and you kind of have to like fend for yourself and make those friends. Yeah, you can trust them, but there's not that same like depth behind certain relationships that you would have if you grew up with them. So moving to Orlando really helped me a lot, like for my depressive phase. At that time, tried to find another manufacturer that could work out. So I decided to license the designs and figure out, okay, if I don't have the funds, or if I can't find somebody to make this feasible, how about I go about finding someone else who can? I'll just figure out how to sell it for them, just so that I can make money off royalties and still make sure that I'm getting my money back on my investment. So I literally did all my research for all the African streetwear brands that were in the States, that were in Canada, that were in Europe. Everybody told me no, or they told me that it was a good idea, but they just couldn't pick it up at the time. Until like finally, by the end of that summer, my roommate, or that roommate, the friend, he had a roommate whose stepbrother owned like a clothing line in Miami, and they used to make custom baseball jerseys for celebrities. So I tried to pitch MIZIZI to him. So I'm like, here's the idea. I know this is not like your target demographic, but this could be an additional stream of revenue for you. He told me no, but he was the one who actually pointed me in the right direction of where to search and like find a manufacturer overseas, and not be scared to actually reach out and like branch out of where I was comfortable in. From there, once I got a few quotes from Chinese manufacturers, I realized that it was a third of the price. It was 10 times the quality that I was getting. And they were way more willing to do work with me and actually do business with me. And by that time, I already had the business plan and figured out how to sell everything. So I was like, okay, I just had
the next step.
Found the missing piece. Let's run with it.
Oh man.
So yeah, after that summer, I went back home, and I set up I had hit up a few friends that we could shoot downtown. And yeah, like by August 30th was whenever we officially launched, and I haven't looked back since.
Man, that is a crazy story. Oh, like just sticking with it, like sticking with your gut. I feel like that's just what that was. Just, okay, I can't give up on this. I have to figure this out.
And the thing is, like, when I took time off of school, I worked as a pharmacy tech. And working in a retail pharmacy isn't the greatest experience, especially not for your first time. So that is what made me take MIZIZI a little bit more seriously. I was like, there's no way I can go back to school just to end up here doing the same position, or being next to the guy that's doing like literally the same thing as me, except signing off on like the Schedule 2 drugs and counseling the patients. It wasn't for me. So that's whenever I was like, okay, how can we make this idea a little bit more like realistic and actually make it happen? Yeah,
man, you really are one of the lucky ones to figure it out so young of what you wanted to do, and just, you know, sticking with that and staying in that lane and just staying focused. I know you had like some bumps through it, but I mean, one of the biggest things still too is that because you are here in Dallas, and I've seen, you know, I follow you guys on social media, so I've seen you guys do photo shoots throughout Dallas. Like, how has the city of Dallas really upped, you know, MIZIZI, and upped your brand a little bit?
We always like to use people who are from the city that will help out, and if we can put them on. If you go back to our Forbes interview, I literally shouted out as many people as I could, because I want to make sure that I do put people on in positions that I can. If we're able to have you in like a big photo shoot, although we might not be able to pay you the most, at least we're able to like, you can put this on your resume. That you worked with Disney and MIZIZI, or you worked with Marvel and MIZIZI. Just little slight things that I can do to help people out from a different position.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man.
Other than that, like, Dallas is honestly, they've showed us so much love. Anytime I go out in the city, people were like, "Oh, are you Mr. MIZIZI?" Stuff like that. And it's like, oh, okay, so we're getting around.
By the way, not a bad idea to change your name, Mr. MIZIZI. That's not a bad idea at all.
I mean, so if I'm being completely transparent with you, I'm kind of in a space now to where, yes, MIZIZI is like something that I created, but at the same time, it doesn't define me.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to find that space where it's like, not letting my whole entire identity be engulfed by it, but realizing that this is still a part of me, nevertheless.
Right. Oh, man. It's crazy.
Sorry to go off on a tangent like that. My bad.
Oh yeah, it's cool. I like that. I'm just, are you Mr. MIZIZI? Rolling up, that's awesome. But I mean, it is Black History Month too, and of course, you know, the gears, you know, towards, of course, African countries and things of that such nature. But what is it that MIZIZI's doing for specifically Black History Month, you know, as far as the jerseys go?
So this weekend, if you do follow us on Twitter at MIZIZI Shop, we will be hosting a free jersey giveaway where you can answer 5 questions about whether it be Black history or MIZIZI's history. On February 15th and February 16th at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. And so answer 5 questions, and if you're a winner, you get a free jersey.
You said MIZIZI Shop. Hold on, let me write that down.
MIZIZISH.
Listen, I'm trying to give me a jersey, man. Them jerseys are nice. Yeah, I'm telling y'all, these jerseys are incredible. But we were talking earlier. You mentioned Disney with Black Panther and The Lion King. I mean, those jerseys. When I saw that, I was like, "This is it, man. This is." You know, it's crazy to think like, okay, if they were to go to a company, a business to do something like that, MIZIZI would have been perfect. And those Wakanda jerseys, man. Man, those are nice. Those are legit.
Those are my babies.
I'm curious as how this phone call went. Like, this is Disney. We want you guys to make a jersey for Black Panther. I mean, that film was, of course, the cultural phenom. It was everywhere. You know, it was for the Black folks. We loved it. It was for the culture. And then I feel like this was just the icing on the cake with the jersey.
So it wasn't easy. Back in October, whenever the Black Panther movie trailer had dropped, everybody had taken to Twitter like, "Hey yo, what should we wear to the movie? What should we wear some traditional wear?" And then we had some customers who were like, "Yo, we should wear some MIZIZI." And then we had even more customers who were like, MIZIZI should create their own jerseys. And I thought about that deal a little bit. It's cool, but this is Marvel we're talking about. This is big business.
Big money.
We were only 3 years old at the time, but as I did more research, I started figuring out okay, what was Marvel's Black Panther marketing scheme? Who are they targeting? How are they going about it? And then where were the problems? Where were the holes? Because all selling is solving someone else's problem. So if you can figure out what that solution is, then you're in there. So I created this whole mind map, figuring out how MIZIZI could be the perfect piece or perfect partner for Marvel. Emailed them, and immediately they told me no. They told me that we already have partners and licensees. We don't need you to make a baseball jersey. I was pretty persistent. I told them unfortunately, I hear you, but where I'm from, no means maybe and maybe means yes. So I can't take no for an answer. So how can we get this done?
Wow.
They didn't like that at all.
No.
They didn't like that at all. So after that, I was like, okay, if I can't go through the front door, how can I go about having the public put pressure on them? Let them know that there is proof of sale or proof of concept and that people do want the jersey. That's whenever we did this whole MIZIZI for Marvel campaign where we released that, we did a mock-up Wakanda jersey, how it would look. We created this video campaign around it and then started pushing it as hard as possible and told people to tag Marvel if you want the jersey. It did pretty well.
So you had already came up with the concept and everything, how it's going to look?
Yeah, by the time that we pitched it to Marvel, we had everything done. Because the movie was supposed to release in February.
Right.
I recognized that we were really last minute, coming into the game. So we had to come prepared.
Man.
So that video, it did pretty well. The Shade Room had picked it up. People were tagging Marvel left and right. They still were ignoring us.
Man.
So by that time I was like, okay, how about we still show them that we're supportive regardless and that maybe they'll pick us up in the future for something. That's whenever we rented out one of the auditoriums at North Park, at the AMC at North Park, and we had MIZIZI movie night. to where if you had a MIZIZI jersey, you can come and watch Black Panther with us for free. And if not, and if you just wanted to support, you can pay $5 for the ticket, and we got you.
Wow.
That was a lot of fun. But even after sending like video and footage of that, they still weren't responsive. But throughout this entire time, and this is like February, March by now, the movie had already premiered. It already felt like we were too late. But that entire time, I had been reaching out to people on LinkedIn that worked at Marvel, that worked in the licensing department, to see like, okay, who was the right person that I needed to talk to. People were ignoring me left and right, but there was one lady who had been kind of responsive throughout the months. It wasn't like she wasn't giving me the keys, but she was still telling me like, okay, just email them here, or oh, that's really cool, I'll try to show it around or something, like just little help. Finally, whenever I showed her that the shade room had picked the stuff up, and after like all like the summary of like all of all the actions that we had put into it, she was like, okay, this is really cool, let me get you a contact at Disney real quick and I'll get back with you. So she eventually emailed me somebody at Disney's contact, found them on LinkedIn, reached out to them. Within a few hours, they were emailing me saying that they love my tenacity and ambition and would love to talk to me within an hour.
Wow.
And then within 2 days, I was in LA talking to Disney's consumer products team, figuring out how to make it real.
Key there though, the shade room. I said, you can't dodge the shade room, man.
Yo, you can, but at the end of the day, like, it's cool to see the power of social media.
Yeah.
You know, like if you have a community that really supports you, it's crazy to see like the impact that they can make.
And I mean, finally they're like, come on, Disney. Like you were doing anything and everything you can possibly. Come on, Disney.
And I just wanted to make sure that we did things like the right way. I know there's a lot of people who were jumping on the Black Panther Wakanda train and like releasing gear for it.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to burn any bridges for MIZIZI in the future.
Right.
You know, I don't want to put something out that was not legit and then have it being like backfire, be our Achilles heel sometime down the road.
And it's a good thing you did it that way too, because then that's where the Lion King came into factor. It came in, so that one was probably, I'm sure, a little easier for you to get done.
Honestly, we just presented them a jersey design. They're like, oh, we already wanted to work with you anyways. Oh. And then it just boom.
I love it. That's awesome. I mean, I have to know what is coming next though for MIZIZI. I mean, do you have anything coming up for big here in the next few months? Because I know Disney's always dropping stuff. I don't know if you're doing anything lately next for Disney, but I mean, what you got planned for 2020? I
can't say too much, but I do like this whole working with fictional countries in the movie or in the media thing that we got going on. So I'm gonna see what we can do about partnering with another production team to release another collaboration sometime this summer. And then it's also our 5-year anniversary this August. So we're gonna do something big for that and try to throw something for the city at the same time.
Oh man, I'm excited, and because I know Black Panther 2 is coming around the corner like next year, I think. So I'm excited to see that jersey if you know that happens, because I know it will. I mean, Paakow, you're incredible, man. Your story is awesome. Thanks for chatting with me. But give out the socials. Where can they follow you? Where can they find all your gear?
So if you want to follow MIZIZI, one, you can Google us. You know, you might find a few Forbes articles on there. You know, quick little flex. But we're on all social media platforms at MIZIZISHOP, whether it be Instagram, Twitter, even LinkedIn. You can find us there. And then if you want to reach me personally, it's just PAAKOWESSANDOH. It's my first and last name, Paakow Essandoh, literally all across the board.
Paakow Essandoh, thank you so much, man. Thanks for chatting with me.
This has been a great time, JJ.
Yeah, for sure, man. Keep up the good work.
Y'all holler at us, man.
Yeah.